Afternoon everybody, time for another video. So last time we got SDR Sharp up and running with a new elect smart dongle, and it was just the basics to get you up and running, so you could start searching the bands. What I want to run through today is how to add alpha tags. So while it's searching, it automatically, once you put the information in, tells you what frequency it's landed on. So you can see a few popping up. I've got the volume down on it, but you can see a few tags popping up as it's scanning through today, and that's because I've got them all populated in here. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you how to set this file up, so you'll get the same feature on your own setup. I'm just going to stop it from scanning. In fact, I want to stop it completely. One of the features you may have noticed while it's scanning is, so if we look in frequency scanner, it's set up at the moment to scan all without save new. That's because I've got all my memories programmed in. You can use the drop down and there's different options. So what you could tell it to do is scan all with save new. Okay, so what that will do while it's searching, if you haven't got a frequency, shall we say, programmed into your memories here, it will save it for you, and then later on in the day you could come to that frequency, look it up, edit and add in a tag for that frequency. Okay, but we're going to start from scratch and assume you've done nothing. So first off, if you've got a frequency in there, and you do need one in, if you go into your SDR Sharp folder, you'll find a file called frequencies.xml. so I'm going to open it to edit. It's a little bit wordy. I don't know if you can make this out. So see there, it says Exeter frequency, and then the shift and the detector, Exeter tower, VHF guard. Okay, so all of those are in there, but you can see that's a pretty hefty file to try and edit. Okay, so we'll close that down. I'm going to get rid of this file, but just in case we mess things up, we're going to open up a new folder, and I'm just going to call it old files. Okay, now I'm going to move frequencies to old files. I'm going to shut SDR Sharp, and then when I restart it, you can see that my frequency file under frequency manager is blank. Okay, now I need a file to edit, so I'm going to hit play. I'm going to click new. Don't worry about what the frequency is. Click OK, and it's saved that here for me. Okay, so we're going to stop SDR Sharp again. We're going to close it, and now if we go back to our folder, can you see frequencies has reappeared? But now it's just that single frequency that I've saved. So I've got a file to play with now, and that's the important thing. Okay, so I'll put the link in the description. You need to go to this web page to do the conversion for you. And what they do on the page is they provide a sample file for you to edit. So I'm going to download the sample file. Okay. Now there's various ways of doing this. So you can see here are the memory groups, and here are the tags. These are the frequencies, and these are the bandwidths. Okay, so you can just go in and type all your information in. So we'll do one. AM, bandwidth. There's all sorts of different bandwidths in here. For scanning airband, civil airband, you want 8,000 because of the 8.33 kilohertz step. Military airband, you can get away with 10,000. Okay, we've got a frequency in, we've got a group in. Don't worry about the false column, just ignore it, and then we'll just call this Birmingham, and then don't worry about the last column. So if you wanted to, you could just go through, edit all those, and then go ahead with the process. What I'm going to try and do is show you how to use a file, use an existing file. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to open up my free scan and open up one of the files from my Bearcat. I'll open up civil airband, and I'm going to export that as a CSV, just this system. I did this as a test run the other day, so it's just going to overwrite the file. Okay, so I've done that now. So what I've got in my documents is a Bearcat file, he says, civil airband, there we go, which you'll notice is formatted completely differently to the file that I was just trying to edit. Okay, now what I'm going to do, I'm not going to do the whole file, I'm just going to do it on a small section of it. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of all the other bump that relates to the Bearcat. Now, this will work with any file. Oh, I thought I got rid of the bump. Let's try again. Keeps deselecting it for me. No matter. Let's not worry about that. Okay, contents. There we go. Okay, so I'm just going to play with this top bit. Now you might have a different scanner and a different program that you export from. You might do a download from Radio Reference or mill scanners or something like that. But essentially what we're interested in is the tag and the frequency. Now you have to enter the frequencies in hertz, and these frequencies are in megahertz. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to apply a formula. So this is cell B1, so equals B1 multiplied by 100,000. That frequency now is in hertz as opposed to megahertz. Okay, if I double click this, he says no, that's not working today, so I'm going to right click, copy and paste. Okay, so that now has applied the same to the whole column. I'm ignoring this bit down the bottom, guys. I don't want to do this for 1,000 frequencies. I'm just doing one block. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight these, right click and copy. I'm going to go to my sample file and I'm going to right click and clear contents. Okay, so in here, right click, oh, I'm going to have to go back and copy it again. So right click, copy, back to the sample file, right click. It's important here that you paste values, not the normal paste. See, it comes at ref. Okay, so we're going to do paste the values in. Now I want the descriptions, so I'm going to go back to my first file. I'm going to paste the descriptions, right click, copy, back again, right click again, we're going to paste the values. Okay, and we've got the descriptions in now. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to delete the bottom half of this file just so we don't get confused with what we're doing. Oops. Come on. Okay, clear contents. Okay. Now I want to make sure everything's in AM, so I'm going to double click. Ooh, why is that not working today? So we've got AM, 8,000 step. I've pasted in my frequencies in hertz. I want to call this file Exeter. Okay, so we're all ready to go. So let's save the file. Now I'm going to go back to the web page, choose file. Oh, I think I have to close it before I can close the file, after I saved it, of course. Back to the web page, choose file, it's in my downloads. Open, and then convert. Okay, now can you see I've got a load of bump just like we had in that first file that we had a look at. Okay, so now I'm going to go back to my SDR sharp folder. Do you remember we talked about this file frequencies.xml? Right click, edit. I'm going to delete the information that's in there. I'm going to go back to the web page, highlight it all, right click, copy, back to my folder, back to my file I'm editing, right click, paste, new frequency files dropped in. Okay, so we can go file, save, I'm going to exit it. Now, with a bit of luck, when we open SDR sharp, in here, he says, it's just the files that I just downloaded. And what I've done, as happens with live videos, is I've messed up the frequencies. I've got 11,932.5 kilohertz. Let's figure out what I did wrong. 119.325.00. Okay, so my formula was wrong. Must have missed a zero off. 119.325.000. Okay, so I'll go back to my sample file. Where was it? It was in downloads. Sample CSV. Wrong sample. There we go. Yeah, just missed a zero off, guys. So right, clear contents. Right click, copy, back to the sample, make sure we go to the right one, right click, paste values. Don't worry about that, that's just because the box is too small. If we open the box up, we'll see we get the full values in there. Okay, so let's try saving that again. Save. Back to the web page. We can close that one down. Choose file. Sample CSV. Open. Convert. There's our conversion. Just a bit of housekeeping to do now because we've got SDR sharp open, so we want to close it. We want to go into my SDR sharp folder. We'll get rid of the wrong information that I just put in, so frequencies.xml, edit. delete. Back to the web page. Have we got the right number of zeros this time? Right click, copy. Back to the file. Right click, paste. File, save. Shut that. Restart SDR Sharp. There we go. So we've got all the alpha tags. We've got the correct frequencies this time. I'll just recap the number that you need to put in a moment. And then when we hit, just bear in mind what I started off talking to you about. Scan all without save new. If you spend a lot of time doing this list to have it just how you want it, and you accidentally leave scan all with save new in, it's going to start tagging a load of frequencies onto the bottom you don't necessarily want. So I want scan all without save new. Okay, so now you can see the group come up as Exeter, so I could have different groups if I wanted to from the column that we named. This isn't what we're going to scan. What we're scanning is what I showed you the other day. We're scanning the whole range. But if it finds any of these frequencies within this range, it will display their name on the screen while it's scanning. Looks like it's not moving. It's just going so fast that you can't see it. Never get confused with this one, guys. You've got a separate scan for just scanning memories. We're always using the scanner in Frequency Scanner, not the scanner in Frequency Manager. Oh, there we go. Exeter approach.
Maintaining flight level 70, information hotel 1028, ready for training instructions.
Joint control extra airspace, on track Dickers, climbing flight level 240, squawking 7655, 124.755.
So because I haven't programmed this one in, it's come up as unknown. You'll notice I've paused it while it's on the frequency. If I open Frequency Manager, turn the volume down, and click New, can you see 128.7 is in there? I could choose a group for that. I don't know what 1.8.7 is. I'm assuming it's a Swanwick frequency. 128.7 it's picked up on. It's picked up on the shift that we're already set to, and it's picked up on the detector as AM. We click OK, and then if you look in your list, there it is, 128.7. So next time it stops on 128.7, it'll say Swanwick, and then we can just scan on. It's unnerving that when the frequency doesn't display. You think it's not doing anything, but it is. You can see down here the speed it's going at. Okay, that's it for today, guys. Sorry for the slight error halfway through. Just as a reminder, when we were doing the CSV file, when we were doing the conversion. So, well, let me paste that. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 noughts. Yeah, you're timesing it by a million. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just if there's any confusion. Okay, thanks very much. Let me know in the group UK Radio Scanners on Facebook if you need any more help with that. Next time I'm going to run through logging. So there's some real good logging and recording functions within SDR Sharp, and it's within the version that I've shared on the group. So I'll just give you a quick preview. So under audio recorder, you can set it to automatically record and save all the files to a folder. So there's a little bit of setup to do in here. It's not a big deal. And then every signal that it records, every signal it receives, it will record to a folder. And similarly, there is a logging function whereby it will produce a log for you if it's set up to run. It's not running in this version because this is the sort of clean version that I downloaded for you guys. Once that's up and running, you can see I've got two folders here, AirSpy logs and AirSpy recordings. So this is going to look like a bit of a mess today. Let's do one from the other day because I've been experimenting. Okay, there's not much information in here because I've only just loaded a channel, some channels in. So you can see it breaks it down depending on what you've named your group. In Civil Air, Exeter Tower, so that's every transmission that's come through Exeter Tower today that it's received. Exeter Approach, that's every transmission it's received through Exeter Approach. That was under Civil. We've got Marine, we've got Mill Air, depending on how you set your groups up. So if you wanted to come back and review something that had potentially happened, you can just review your recordings there. And then in logs, there's two versions of a log, AirSpy logs. So it's got a session activity hits list. So this is quite a simple log. It will tell you the frequencies that it's received and how many times the scanner stopped on that frequency. So some of these that are blanks, you can see it's just one. It might have just been a bit of interference, but these 14 hits on Yeovilton Approach, 12 hits on Swanwick Military, and then it does a full log as well. Wait for it to load. So this logs every single hit. I've actually got the date and time switched off on this, but you can correlate this to your audio logs. So I can see there's lots of activity on Cobham channel 14 on this particular day. I could come out of that and then I could go to here. That was on the 25th. I go to my AirSpy recordings, I go to the 25th, I go to Mill Air, I find Cobham channel 14, and then all the recordings will be in there. I can't remember what the frequency was for it now. Here we go. So those are all the recordings from Cobham channel 14 for that day. Okie dokie. That's it, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments. If you need any more help, just let me know, but I'll get the next video up in the next couple of days. Thanks very much for watching.